making those types of plays is what makes Mark Davis the basketball player that he is today. You start getting out of what you do best, and then all of a sudden your whole game kind of goes to pot a little bit. Mark Davis last night and tonight doing what he does best, getting steals, getting some rebounds, getting out on the fast break.
Iverson and Cummings, the pick and roll thing. Davis works baseline, high beams on into Hendrickson. No harm, no foul.
Well,
Davis, however, is hurt as the Kings score here in transition. Larry Brown calls the 22nd timeout, as indeed there has been some harm, and Mark Davis is clearly hurt. I would guess here and say perhaps left wrist or left hand.
Well, we'll take a look at it. Davis is going to drive to the hoop. Hendrickson is going to try and take the charge. Now he's out of the square. He hits Hendrickson, comes down. Couldn't quite see it, but it looked like his left side.
Hendrickson being, or I should say Mark Davis being tended to by Lenny Currier. We have a full timeout here, almost 2 minutes into the second quarter. And the Kings leading the 76ers by 7 points.
Oh, okay. The heck with the wife. We bought ourselves something. A couple bottles of wine.
We are the surprise. Bobby Hurley has come in. Clarence Weatherspoon here with a clean look, getting the deuce. Clarence only shooting 34% in his last 9 games. That's unusual for him.
Not getting many touches, though. On Spoon's behalf, I mean, I think you have to say because the Sixers are taking a lot of outside shots, Spoon has been the one that has been hurt, not getting a whole lot of touches as Billy Owens goes back door and gets a nice little pass for the layup.
Mark Davis leaving the floor right now. And again, we don't have an official diagnosis as Iverson comes up with it. The Sixers have a fresh 24. Though we suspect it is a left hand or a wrist as Polynice records the snuff on Iverson. Number 24 is Terry DeHare into the game for the first time for Sacramento. That's Bobby Hurley, number 7. Owens, after the Polynice screen, got rid of his man, and Billy Owens having a nice first half. It's the Kings by 9, their largest lead. Weatherspoon locking horns with Mark Hendrickson. Cummings saw it all the way. Terry Cummings 2 for 2 off the bench, so a tough break for Mark Davis, who had been playing very well here in the first half, giving the Sixers a lift off the bench. A left wrist injury, we are told. Further examination and diagnosis to come in the locker room. Old Polynice having himself a good time off the bench. 4 for 4 now for 8.
Eddie Jordan, coach of Sacramento, is hoping that his star stays mad at him for a long time for not starting him the way he's playing tonight. 4 for 4 off the bench. The only bench player so far for Sacramento to score.
Iverson at the line, shooting 2.
Allen Iverson going to the line for the Sixers. Personal foul is on Bobby Hurley. His first and the second on the team. Iverson is 3 for 6 from the stripe. He's got 5 and 8 assists already here in the first half. We are almost 4 minutes into the second quarter. Owens holding 3 inches on Jackson, wants it, but the hair goes to Hurley. Bobby Hurley with a 3. And that bounces over the backboard and out of play. Hurley, that's the first 3-pointer he's attempted this year. Doug Overton into the game for the first time. Doug did not play last night, and he's in to spell Allen Iverson. Allen to the bench for the first time here in the first half. In fact, Overton hasn't played in his last 2, giving way to any combination of Aaron McKee and Jim Jackson. The search for Weatherspoon in the post against Hendrickson. Straight up coverage. Good to see Clarence getting on track. The second field goal for 4.
That's a good matchup for Clarence Weatherspoon down low, despite the fact that Hendrickson has a couple inches on him. Spoon has some strength, I think, on Mark.
Hurley creating, throws it away. Jackson on a 4-on-3 turned it over. And a palming violation is called on Jim Jackson. Only the 5th turnover on the Sixers here in the first half. Sixers tied their season low, only 8 turnovers last night since they turned it over 29 times at Boston back on December 15th, averaging only 11, which is well below anybody's average in the NBA. Williamson against Coleman, who has returned the pass for Polynice off of his fingertips. Sixers here down 6. Weatherspoon, nice look. McKee denied by Owens. Hurley to the trailer. Williamson, who scoops and scores. Boy, he was blazing.
He's getting out on the fast break. The big fella off and running.
Williamson and Richmond sharing scoring honors, 11 apiece for the Kings.
When you get going that fast, he's basically saying, go ahead, step in there and take the charge.
Well, Williamson returned because Weatherspoon was having his way on Hendrickson, and you have a couple of heavenly bodies going here as Williamson is called for his 2nd and the 3rd on the team.
Take a look at Bobby Hurley. Little talking there, you know that. As Williamson's running the floor, letting them know, hey, I'm behind you, I'm behind you. You know, you talk about talking on offense or defense. You also have to talk on the offensive end. Let those players know where you are, especially on the fast break.
6 points in 7 minutes for Spoon. As we approach the halfway point of this, the 2nd quarter. Hurley and Overton colliding there, and for Doug his 1st and only the 1st on the team.
Take a look at Bobby Hurley, who is struggling big time.
You know, even though that auto accident occurred some 5 years ago in his rookie season, it still seems as though the uphill battle for him continues.
Yeah, never recovered. Be interesting to see when Eddie Jordan goes back to Mitch and Johnson.
Coleman, 7 to shoot. DeHare the swipe. Jackson tries to line him up. Forget about it. Well, Mitch can rest as long as the Kings continue to front run, and right now they lead by 8.
Kind of waiting for the 76ers with the starting guards out of there to make a run.
Aaron McKee, that was for 2. Aaron without a field goal last night. So a season high 4 steals, and once again he was on the floor at the finish. DeHare got Weatherspoon to bite. Hurley in rhythm, stroked it.
Now see, that was from 2. You know, you take a step in and get to 18 feet. As a point guard, you should be able to knock that thing down. Hurley on the year shooting about 43%. Not playing many minutes. Under 10 he's averaging.
Jim Jackson hitting a 3. Both of his field goals tonight from beyond.
And coming into tonight's game, he was 2 out of his last 10.
Though overall the best among the starters, except for Tim Thomas. This is DeHare for 2. Terry DeHare signed as a free agent after 4 years with the Los Angeles Clippers, and the good news on Mark Davis, a sprained left wrist, but it was taped, and he is back.
Those injuries are tough to play with.
Weatherspoon, and finally it's Owens. With 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Coleman, the interception. Weatherspoon and Jackson, the pick and roll thing with 8 to shoot. McKee has Coleman fronted by Polynice. The lob is there. The strip and foul by Hurley.
Not a great effort defensively by Olden Polynice. That pass goes right over his head. You got to do a better job than that. A slow lob. Olden Polynice being pushed out of the paint by Derek Coleman. And when you want to know why you go from starter to bench, it's that kind of effort on the defensive end. And a novel idea by Eddie Jordan, going with the guys that just work hard.
Little used Kevin Salvadorian, his second year from North Carolina, a 7-footer, 230 pounds, is into the game for the first time.
There you can see it. Offensively, he did not keep Derek Coleman on his back, and defensively, Derek Coleman was able to push him out of the paint. Now he was getting tired, and the one thing that he has to do is get himself in better shape. Talking to some of the coaches before the game, OP is just not in great shape.
Coleman with 4. The Sixers here have allowed Sacramento to shoot 65% in the first half. It has 3.5 to run. The hair by McKee in among the timber. Williamson working over Coleman, only 3 to shoot. Salvadori can't handle it. Ratliff back into the game. Jackson runs it down and restores calm for the Sixers. Coleman has Ratliff inside, instead keeps the ball and has it knocked away by Williamson. Three minutes to go in the second quarter. The first of 2 meetings between the teams. The return engagement, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Monday the 19th, 1 o'clock at the beautiful Torrey State Center. Personal fouls on Salvadori. We have a timeout. Under 3 now to go in the second. We'll be back.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Now, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Introducing the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now. Just call 1-800-482-9500.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And when you apply now, you'll benefit from this low introductory rate.
Call 1-800-482-9500. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
Beanie Babies. Have you been looking for Beanie Babies? Look no further. 5,000 of them given away to youngsters 12 and under. The 76ers take on the Golden State Warriors Saturday, January 17th. Get there early. You will get adoption papers and then a Beanie Baby of your very, very own. Tickets available at the Torrey State Center box office and all ticket masters, or call 336-2000. Daddy, can I have a Beanie Baby?
I guess there's something to those things, huh?
It's a craze. It really is.
We used to sit on those
Beanie Babies
as a kid. Remember?
The bags you're talking about.
I know. But then they shortened them up a little bit, gave them some kind of design, and said, here you go.
They gave them faces.
and that's right. And made them valuable.
Mark Davis, who is valuable early in the first half, right now clutching that heavily taped, sprained left wrist.
You'll have to keep ice on that. As I said, that's a difficult thing to play through because everything you do involves wrist movement, from catching the ball to passing the ball to shooting. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to come back from that.
Fortunately, he is right-handed.
Well, but you still have to catch with 2 hands and pass with 2 hands. Now back in the day, first time he gets on the floor, you give him a little karate chop across the left wrist and send him back to the bench. Here you go, buddy.
Here you go.
Yeah, we'll see you. Don't tape anything.
Sixers, by the way, only 53% from the line tonight, and they trail by 5. De Gea setting up Salvadori, and Theo Ratliff said, forget about it. Iverson, high beams on, and he is fouled by Salvadori. And Allen Iverson, Derek Coleman, a combined 6 for 12 thus far from the stripe.
Good pass. Salvadori was not expecting it at all. Take a look at the move that he has. Could not get the ball up, as McKee did a good job of almost stripping Salvadori of the basketball. On the other end, he did not move his feet quick enough to block the baseline, and Eddie Jordan's just trying to get by over the next 2:25 to get into halftime with Salvadori in the line. I'd get him out of there and send in a smaller guy.
Well, the starter, the rookie Michael Stewart, with 3 personal fouls, and Eddie Jordan trying to save him for the second half. The Yank Colony, so Salvadori, little used, is selected here as Iverson trying to turn around Williamson. Allen smartly backs it out. Coleman, good look. Weatherspoon couldn't finish. DC in cleanup mode challenges Salvadori. It went halfway down and came out. De Gea, that's for 2. Coleman for the Sixers under 2 to play. Mitch Richmond, an extended rest here as the Kings continue to lead, though the margin shriveled to 3.
Surprised Mitch didn't come back in. Oh, just take him to the hoop. And that's automatic. Yeah. You look up and see him on you. Give him a little pump fake. Just take him to the hoop. Definitely foul prone. Just doesn't have a whole lot of lateral movement.
3 personal fouls in 2 minutes for Kevin Salvadori.
And a turnover.
Once again, Derek Coleman.
See, his presence, I mean, Sacramento had a nice little thing going, and Sacramento's still up 3, but by putting him in there a couple minutes ago, you kind of lost all your momentum that you had going into halftime. You were up 6-7, could have been 8, and now all of a sudden you're still up 3, and you don't want to lose that. Eddie Jordan getting him out of there and bringing OP back in, Olden Powell. Sixers continue to do the 1 for 2 at the free throw line thing.
All told, Derek Coleman with 6. Buck and a half to play in the second. Sixers get it to 2. Owens. Jackson for the Sixers. Jackson thought he had Coleman. Instead, it's De Gea who is lassoed by McKee. And the personal foul is called.
Well, I know what I thought of Salvadori's play. What do you think of it? Oh, my goodness.
Well, you know, you're not used much, so playing time comes sparingly. And when all of a sudden the coach points to you, in this case, Eddie Jordan, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Salvadori hasn't played that much, and you try to make the most of it, and in doing so, you consequently make mistakes.
Yeah, it's the old, I've got to do well, I've got to do well, oh no, I've messed up again.
And then one thing builds upon another. Sixers here down 2. Coleman, Weatherspoon in deep. Clarence muscles it home. Spoon, valuable minutes off the bench. So much so, he leads the Sixers with 8. They've ripped off 7 straight to lock it at 49. A 2 for 1 for the Kings here, should they hurry it up. Williamson, the bump and run with Weatherspoon. He leads the Kings with 13. The clocks here are virtually identical. And under the direction of Larry Brown, the 76ers will hold for 1.
1-4 for the 76ers coming down to the stretch. 1 being the point, 4 being Derek Coleman.
He slips in, only to meet Owens, surrounded. Coleman fights it up. Still time for the Kings. Johnson, it'll count. And that will do it for the first half of action tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet. Halftime here at Sacramento. For the Kings of Eddie Jordan lead the 76ers by a deuce. It is Sacramento 51 and the 76ers.
Got mine. Oh, you bet. Man. Clear path foul.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the first half stats. You can see the 76ers 18 of 40, 45%. Sacramento at 57%. Sixers to the free throw line. They could have had the lead if they would have knocked down a few free throws. 11 of 19 for the Sixers, just 58%. Sacramento at 82%, 9 for 11. Bench points 20 to 14. Good positive happening out there for the 76ers in the first half. Rebounds. Take a look at the Kings with a slight advantage, but turnovers have hurt Sacramento. Give credit to the 76ers defense there for getting Sacramento turn that thing over. Now take a look at the leading scorers. Spoon with 8, Iverson with 7, 4 with 6. For Sacramento, it was Williamson 13, Mitch playing just 14 points with 11, Owens 9, Polanese, OP with 8.
Along with the mayor of Mixville, Steve Mix, Mark Zuma.
Thank you for remembering.
Never forget.
I won't let you.
Really egomaniac that you are. Third quarter is underway. That is Johnson, sized up by Jackson, so he gave it up to Mitch Richmond. Could not handle the pass.
Why do you pass that on a 2-on-1 situation? I know you're a point guard, and I know you're supposed to set up your teammates, and it's Mitch Richmond running, but 2-on-1, you take it yourself. Another turnover, unforced turnover. And that cost you 2 points.
Tim Thomas, oh so smooth, leads the Sixers now with 8 on 4 for 8 shooting. He was 0 for 3. Even I could figure that's 4 of his last 5. Tied at 51. Johnson in there trying to unlock the tie. He's fouled by Derek Coleman. DC's first.
Take a look at Allen Iverson's head. Boy, he is looking straight at the basketball. Shoulders squared up to the ball. Turn his back to Johnson. Johnson just goes back door, and Allen Iverson no idea where Johnson was going at that particular time. If you're going to play defense out on the perimeter, it's ball man, ball man. It's almost, you know, like you've been taught, Mark. You've got like guns in your point. Six shooters in each hand. You're just pointing ball man, and you've got, as your guy goes down and makes a backdoor cut, you've got to fade back with him a little bit. Don't turn your head.
Peripheral vision.
Absolutely. A little teaching point there for the youngsters at home.
Indeed. That's Stewart, the rookie, back in. 3 personal fouls in the first half. Iverson, the steal, tried to knock it off of Richmond. Indeed, he did. Didn't work as planned, but he got the desired effect.
Allen Iverson hustling there. Take a look. Just off mid. Mitch trying to get out of the way. Allen doing a good job.
Thomas, that's for the lead. It's 52-51 Sacramento. 90 seconds gone here in the third. Richmond.
Still hasn't missed a shot. 4 for 4 at halftime, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Not bad production.
In all, 13 points. Now defending Jackson. Jimmy quietly, steady as always, now with 8.
And Jimmy has played well. You take a look at his numbers. Very consistent. Double figures in 12 of the last 13, averaging 14 games, shooting about 44%. So, I mean, Jimmy Jackson has been a very consistent basketball player for the 76ers this season.
Without an assist, though, here in the game. That is rather unusual. He is second on the team. Has done a terrific job this year setting up teammates, averaging 5 per game.
I mean, yeah, you take a look at from the 2 guard, his numbers that he put up last night: 17 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
8 boards tying a season high as Ratliff, a chunk of the rock that time, springing Iverson. Thomas, and that would have counted. And Timmy will go to the line for 2. He can put the Sixers in front as Corliss Williamson packs up his 3rd.
Sixers off and running. Tim Thomas doing a good job of getting out on the fast break. Sixers a little quicker now with Tim Thomas in the lineup and Theo Ratliff in the lineup.
More athletic, too.
Yep. Gives them 2 players out on the floor that can get up off the floor quickly. Tim Thomas, a quick leaper. Theo Ratliff, a quick leaper. And not only can they do it once, but twice and 3 times, which makes them very valuable going to the offensive boards.
You can leap to the Sixers official webpage, Sixers.com. That is, if you have a computer, dial it up, ask Mark and Steve a question. We might answer it in the second half. Thomas sized up by Stewart, the good shot blocker. Timmy has his way in a foul.
You make a mistake, you throw the basketball away, and why would you want to compound it on the other end? You're a shot blocker, but you had no chance of blocking this shot. Tim Thomas doing a great job right there. I mean, that was just an automatic pass that Tim Thomas was able to pick off. You have no chance of blocking that shot as Tim Thomas keeps the ball in his right hand. There's the bump. Just let him go in. Now all of a sudden you have 4 personal fouls, and you pretty much render your services down low useless because you don't want to pick up your 5th.
Well, he picked up his 4th.
That's what I mean.
Rookie. And now the Sixers by 4, their largest advantage. Richmond yet to miss. Another 3.
Well, you might as well continue to go to him right now. And Mitch is not one of those players that wants to shoot every time he catches the ball.
He is fresh, too. Only 14 first half minutes. Thomas has been the man here in the 3rd. Ratliff with 5 to shoot. Into action, looking for that 5th personal foul. The basket will not count. A foul on the floor. It is on Stewart. He'll now probably come out of the game.
So now you're going to argue this call and say, where did the foul come? Well, you can see the foul. That left hand was on the hip. That brings Olden Polynice off the bench. Now Olden's going to have to try and play the rest of the game. Because if you're Eddie Jordan, you're sitting there looking at Salvadori saying, oh my goodness.
Not him.
I can't go with him.
Sixers running it with a fresh 24. Jim Jackson halfway down, up and in again. Jimmy is 4 for 5, joining Thomas in double figures. JJ has dropped 10. Richmond another tray. Finally.
He's human.
Yep. We have confirmed here in Sacramento. Sixers by 3 with a rock. Thomas plunging, Jackson the look, Timmy, unfinished business. Ratliff on cleanup duty, yes, and a foul.
Sixers much more aggressive defensively here in the second half, getting out into the passing lanes, playing the passing lanes, obviously something that the coaching staff has talked about. There you see Tim Thomas going to the hoop. Theo Ratliff coming down with the offensive rebound, taking it back up. Theo with a pretty good game going here. Take a look at him, getting the old board, saying, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Make the free throw now. Give your team 6-point lead, still 5.
Off the fingertips of Coleman. Williamson for the Kings. Sixers, their largest advantage at 5. The Kings up as many as 9 in the first half. Thomas has charge of Richmond. Jackson helping out on the switch. Williamson rolling. The Sixers come up with a pick. Iverson with Johnson in pursuit. Coleman thinking 3. Vance looking for a walk. Iverson for 3. Johnson leaking. Iverson is man taking the shot. He beats everybody up the floor.
Well, that's the one thing that Sacramento will do. If a player takes the shot, all of a sudden you might see one guy leaking down court a little bit. And that time Johnson was the guy.
It's the old Boston Celtic thing from back in the day.
Yep.
Derek Coleman. Thomas had a tip. And the Kings have it with the Sixers leading by 3. Richmond strong to the goal. That'll count. Fortunately, it does not fall, but Mitch will go to the line for 2. Theo Ratliff is called for the personal.
Mitch, a little stutter step and a crossover. There's the foul right there. The continuation. No.
The second on Ratliff, 2 on the team. The Kings, by the way, with 4 personals, so the Sixers will shoot from here on in.
Well, you'd be hard pressed to take a look around the league and find out a player that has done more for his team than Mitch Richmond. And you take a look at some of the guys that he's had as teammates. It's pretty much, you know, it's like Mike and 11 guys named Bob, you know, and now and Mitch, 11 guys named Pete, you know. So here, jump on my back and we'll win 35 to 40 games every year. Get them some help, and they're playoff contenders.
But Mitch wants more.
Yeah, he does. He really wants, and everybody that's caliber of a player really wants an opportunity to play on a championship team.
Coleman can't put home the reverse. Polynice for the lead. And the Kings have it back. Richmond for 3. Coleman ensures possession for the Sixers, who lead by 1. Pass for Jackson goes awry. The Sixers turn it over for the 9th time. 16 turnovers on the Kings. And the Sixers cling to the 1-point advantage.
Tim Hardaway and Mitch Richmond team up to host NBA Grooves.
What kind of music you like? Man, I like all type of music.
It's a music video tour of the NBA.
You are in the groove, baby.
With lots of NBA action. Mixed up with hot music from Blackstreet, Republica, Shaq, Yvette Michelle, and more. NBA Grooves. In stores now through NBA.com or by calling 1-800-NBA-HOOPS. From NBA Video.
Francis McGuire, a.k.a. Frankie the Angel.
I have been given the authority to use any means necessary to bring closure to this issue.
You're gonna kill him. I understand why he's doing what he's doing. If I was 8 years old and saw my father gunned down in front of my family. You're on your own here, laddie.
The Devil's Own.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Well, we warned you. Sixers.com, the official webpage of the Philadelphia 76ers. If you had dialed it up, hopefully you had an opportunity to ask Mark and Steve, but Chris from Barrington beat everybody. And her question is, what kind of impact do you think Theo Ratliff will have on the 76ers offense as the season goes on, though, Steve, he was clearly acquired for other reasons.
Well, he was acquired because of his defensive abilities, but take a look at Theo here, going to get the offensive rebound and take it right back up to the hoop. And I think Theo Ratliff, we've seen, has a nice jump hook from the left side of the court. He'll go to the offensive boards for you.
And a guy who I think has more offense than he has been able to show in his time with Detroit.
And that's what he said. He said he's glad to come to Philadelphia because he didn't feel like Doug Collins was giving him the opportunity to show everybody what he had on the offensive end. Now, only time will tell what kind of moves that he has down in the low post. But right now, we're basically seeing the jump hook and a lot of hard work.
Sixers up 1. Kings have it here out of the timeout. Johnson over Ratliff, who was poised to block it. But Anthony Johnson, the teardrop, as Mark Jackson would call that shot. And we're on the seesaw now with the Kings up 1. Halfway through the third. Thomas, a long deuce. Coleman wrestles with Polynice, and those two war horses will jump it up.
Take a look at Derek Coleman, Billy Owens. DC should win that one. Inside position, but Olden Polynice was able to come down and tie Derek up. That's a bad toss.
There's Iverson, a bad fall, and the Kings come up with a turnover, and they have the numbers only. Coleman back. It's Williamson, his own miss. Now the Sixers scramble back, and the Kings forced to set up. Richmond right into a three.
Wow. You knew it. He stepped into it. You could see it coming.
9 straight for Sacramento after the 76ers bolted to the 5-point advantage, and now the home team is up 4. Coleman again against old friend Owens. Blocked in there by Polynice.
Well, 4 blocks at halftime for Sacramento, a couple more here in the third. And you go back to last night's game, the Sixers had 12 shots blocked, but they were able to win the game.
Owens off the Coleman miss. Sixers come up with a turn. DC is fouled by Johnson. And remember, the Kings in the penalty here with 5 and change to go in the third quarter. Eric Coleman slow getting up.
Trying to catch his breath.
And I think Larry Brown picking up on those signals. Clarence Weatherspoon about to come in.
Billy Owens being stripped by Jimmy Jackson, doing a nice job there. Johnson bumping Derek Coleman just a little bit. Derek saying, you know what, as long as I'm down here and nobody's going to sit there and tell me to get up, I'm going to lay here for a minute.
Well, Clarence is into the game, and he can't come in for the foul shooter, so DC remains on the floor. Weatherspoon, a very good half off the bench, 8 in 12 minutes. Aaron McKee is also in. Jim Jackson and Theo Ratliff taking blows.
Yeah, for Clarence Weatherspoon, that was one of his better halves in a long, long time. As you said, 8 points off the bench for Clarence Weatherspoon. He's been in single digits in 8 straight, averaging about 6.7 boards, shooting just 33%. But I think slowly but surely, you know, as your confidence kind of goes high and low during the course of an 82-game season, Clarence Weatherspoon getting it back once again.
Sixers here getting back on defense. They trail the Kings by 3. 5 minutes to go. We're in the third quarter. Remember the Sixers playing last night. The Kings relatively fresh. Richmond missing the 3. OP, Olden Polynice with a board and a fresh 24. Williamson right by Thomas and the rest of the Sixer defense. Corliss Williamson, a double-double already. He has dropped 15 and pulled 13. Polynice fronting Weatherspoon. Good defense there. Thomas tried to bounce it in there to Clarence in the post, and the Sixers turned it over. Copy Quick, the official copier company of the 76ers, Flyers, Eagles, and Phillies. For information on copiers, color copiers, or copiers that connect to your computer, call Copy Quick at 1-800-605-COPY, C-O-P-Y. Williamson, the quick step on Coleman, do not count it. The foul was on the floor, and the Sixers did have one to give, so the Kings will get it back here with a fresh 24. Coleman his second, the third on the Sixer team, so one more to give here with 4 and change remaining in the third. Mark Hendrickson back in. Good look inside for Johnson from Richmond. Iverson gets 2. For Allen, only his second field goal in 8 tries. He's got 9, and he's got 9 assists. Anthony Johnson trying to create. And all he does is turn it over. The 18th time the Kings have coughed it up. That's already above their average.
Yeah, they're 13th in the league. They turn it over about 16 times per game. And a lot of these are unforced turnovers. Some of them are created because Sixers' good defense.
Terry Cummings into the game. In for Derek Coleman. Personal foul on Mark Hendrickson. Hendrickson, the second-round pick of the 76ers last year out of Washington State, was playing with lacrosse in the CBA, and the Kings have had some injuries to a couple of young forwards, Lawrence Funderburk and Michael Smith, necessitating the call-up of Mr. Hendrickson. Well, Mark Davis will give the sprained left wrist a try as Larry Brown is going heavily to the bench now. He's in to spell Tim Thomas. Timmy sitting with 13. Tim averaging about 16 per game in his starting role. Iverson stroking the fouls much better, 7 for 10.
I like this game tonight. I mean, you're talking about 11 points and you're talking about 9 assists.
Johnson in a struggle, so much so that the Kings, before they risk the turnover, called the timeout.
20-second timeout.
And you take a look at Allen, he's contributed 18 points from assists, 11 points that he scored himself, so he's contributed 29 points to the cause tonight.
Are you looking to have an absolutely wonderful time?
Certainly.
I mean, this is a ball. This is great. Slam Dunk Diabetes, it's a family festival. The 76ers are rapidly making it a tradition. It benefits the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, and you will have an absolutely glorious time. You'll meet the players, you get autographs, you can bid on memorabilia. You'll help the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. It's a blast. 12-3. Tickets available at the Core State Center box office and all ticket masters. Allen Iverson is tagged with the personal foul. That's 4 now on the team, so the Sixers have reached their limit, and the Kings are back on offense for the fresh 24. They lead the Sixers by 1, 68-67. And that's Davis, who's pushed out of bounds there by Olden Polynice.
Jeez.
And we'll walk the floor.
I mean, Mark Davis goes up for the rebound, absolutely has it in his hands, and take a look at OP coming into the picture. Just shoves him out of bounds right in front of the official. What choice do you give the official in that case to send the opponent to the free throw line? Let's see how Mark Davis's wrists respond here. Shooting the free throw, you say he's right-handed, which he is. Must be feeling pretty good.
Davis giving the 76ers a good feeling in the first half with some energetic play. Doug Overton in to spell Allen Iverson. So it is all bench now for Larry Brown here in the waning moments of the third quarter. And this foul shot by Davis put the 76ers ahead. Weatherspoon in there. Clarence right back up and in. Clarence Weatherspoon into double figures for the first time in quite a while.
8 straight for Clarence Weatherspoon in single digits, so it took him a while to get into double figures.
And the Sixers back on top by a bucket. Williamson contending with Cummings. Johnson hammers it back. Terry Cummings is called for the personal foul as the Sixers have ripped off 7 straight to lead it by a bucket. We have a timeout. Under 3 minutes to play. We're in the third quarter tonight. And it's the Sixers by 2.
There's something down there.
That's right.
No, I really mean it.
I really mean it too.
Something big is coming.
From now on, everybody stays on board.
It smells your fear.
Do you hear that?
It feels your panic.
Is snakes out there this big?
And it will take your breath away.
Back on the floor. Come on.
Anaconda. Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Stampede tomorrow night, 2 a.m.
Steve, literally millions will have the opportunity to see the Flyers take on the Vancouver Canucks on New Year's Eve. You will have the opportunity should you choose to join us in Vancouver. The 76ers are playing the Grizzlies on New Year's Day, and the Flyers will be there New Year's Eve. Hopefully you will join us at home for the broadcast of that game. Jim Jackson, Gary Dornhofer with all the action live and exclusively at 9 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet. A good thing to have on while you are reveling and bringing in 1998.
Take a look at the missed free throw. OP letting the ball go off his fingertips. Mark Hendrickson being knocked out of the way by Clarence Weatherspoon. Good play by Spoon. Good hustle by Spoon, rising up and then putting down the jump hook to give him 10 points, a couple boards on the night.
Wonderful thing about Clarence Weatherspoon, always unflagging in his efforts in spite of whatever trials and tribulations he comes across, whether it be the lack of playing time or perhaps not starting or things just not going well from the field. And that has always made him a very valuable contributor. His 6th season, #1 in tenure on the team. He has played in more than 180 plus consecutive games. Williamson with a little luck locks us at 70. He has 17 and 13 tonight. Overton at the controls for the Sixers. The Kings come up with the turn. They look to go in front. Richmond, good spot for Polynice. Weatherspoon did all he could with Olden planted. And Clarence preventing the field goal and making Polynice earn it at the line. He's only a 51% shooter.
Well, it started with Mitch Richmond getting by the perimeter defense, bringing the defense to him. The nice find by Mitch Richmond, and the pump fake sends OP to the line. As you said, a 51% free throw shooter. Eddie Jordan down there holding his breath. This is like when you bring the rosary beads out. The guy goes to the free throw line. Oh, please, please, please let him.
Fourth quarter, that's the rosary
that's
bead.
right. Please let him make them.
Polynice with 9 off the bench. King showing some pressure for the first time tonight. Davis gets to Mark Davis, showing few effects from the sprained left wrist, and he has now tied his season high with 9 on 4 for 7.
He's much more aggressive, I think, the last couple games than we've seen him in the past. I mean, he's taking the ball to the hoop, getting out on the fast break opportunities.
Richmond, who can terrorize you at any moment. His own miss, and McKee said absolutely not.
How about McKee last night in a short stay out on the floor? 4 steals, coming up with a big one at the end.
Here are the Kings with the Sixers up 1. Knocked out of bounds. It was kicked, as a matter of fact, so the Kings not only get it back, but they will do so with a fresh 24 and $1:36 to go here in the third. It is 72-71 Sacramento. But check that, the Sixers in front, 72-71. They have home and guest here on the scoreboard. And I forget sometimes.
Forget who you are?
Exactly.
Keep this statement in mind. You're America's guest, so
yeah,
as long as we're on the road, keep looking at the guest side.
Williamson 19 and now 14 rebounds. Cummings for 2. Oh, so sweet. Terry Cummings is 3 for 3. We're on the seesaw here with a minute to play in the third, and now the Sixers go up 1. Richmond against McKee. What a matchup that's going to be as we go down the stretch. And Mitch tries to do the money thing against the Sixers' designated defender for the guards in McKee. Weatherspoon contends with Williamson. 2 for 1 for the Kings. 35 seconds to play. We are in the third.
So take a look at how far off Terry Cummings is playing Mark Hendrickson. Darren Mark to shoot the basketball. One of the problems that Mark had last year with the Sixers is he just wasn't aggressive when he got in the game as far as shooting the basketball. He's got a good little 15, 18-foot jump shot, but he's reluctant to shoot it. And if you don't shoot it, you're going to find yourself back in lacrosse.
Sixers with 4 seconds to play up one. McKee, strong move, looking to set it up. Ball was tipped, last touch by the Kings. 0.3 of a second. The Sixers will virtually have to bat the ball in the basket. Colonies knocks it away, and that will do it for the third quarter. So the 76ers making up some ground. They were down by 7 after 1 and by 2 at the break. The score here after 3, the guest 74, the home team 73. Fourth quarter action after this.
So a shot here will have to be miraculous, and it is! He's going to have to launch one. He gets it away. Hardaway's got it. Yes! Barkley for 3! No! Here's Reggie. Here's the shot. You gotta love it!
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Now, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Introducing the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now. Just call 1-800-482-9500.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And when you apply now, you'll benefit from this low introductory rate.
Call 1-800-482-9500. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
The game really is a lot like jazz. You can take a jazz quintet and actually liken it to 5 people on a basketball court. The point guard would be like the piano player, because in most bands the piano is like the brain. Then you have the power forward, which is like the drummer. I think that small forward position, I'd have to give that to that tenor saxophone. But I think if I was a coach, I wouldn't put me in the game. I play a good anthem, man.
Along with Steve Mix, Mark Zumov tonight from Sacramento. The 76ers with their best offensive showing in the last couple of weeks. And better defense in the third quarter, netting them the 1-point advantage. Don't forget, 76ers on New Year's Day will be taking on the Vancouver Grizzlies. All the action right here on Comcast Sportsnet. We mentioned earlier the Flyers in Vancouver on New Year's Eve. The Kings have it here. Fourth quarter is underway. Terry DeHare into the game for the Kings. And he is in for Mitch Richmond. Johnson contending with Overton. And a double dribble is called by Johnson, the claim being that he picked up on the ball and then resumed his dribble. And ever since James Naismith invented the game, that is illegal.
Huh. Well, we didn't see the other hand. Tough to tell.
The claim was that he actually cupped the ball with one hand.
And I didn't see the right hand, and that's obviously the one that would have cupped the basketball.
Good hustle by Mark Davis, contending there with Hendrickson. The ball, however, out of bounds. Last touch by Mark, who continues to hustle with that heavily taped left wrist, which he sprained in a collision in the first half. Sixers in the third quarter, Steve, their best defensive quarter of the night.
Holding Sacramento to 35 points. Sacramento turning it over 6 times.
Owens and Weatherspoon, Cummings joining defensively. Williamson plunges in and gets 2 more. Corliss Williamson has been terrific tonight. Now he's got 21 of the 14 rebounds, also 4 assists, by the way. And we continue here on the seesaw. Weatherspoon locking horns with Williamson. And Corliss is going to be called for his fourth. Larry Brown begins to weave his starters back into the game. Allen Iverson returns. Derek Coleman to rejoin the fray in just a moment. Williamson, his 15th rebound. Polynice off the double. Bobby Hurley into the game, hitting the cutting Williamson, who attracts a crowd. And the personal foul to come. It is on Terry Cummings.
The second, first team foul. Williamson at the line, shooting 2.
Williamson, the 15 rebounds, by far a season high for him.
Career high.
Well done. You looked it up already. You beat me to it. You're good at this, Steve.
You just have to know where to find it. Now, if I had to look through Harvey Pollack's book to find it, I'd still be looking.
See you next month.
Yeah, that's right. I'd have to give him a call and say, Harvey, where'd you put all this information? The guru of NBA stats, Harvey Pollack.
That is a much sought after publication. I was reading the San Francisco Chronicle. They reprinted the address where readers of the Chronicle could get the book because they were clamoring. The guy who wrote an original article about Harvey Pollack in the book, they were clamoring for the address to be printed again so they could order it. Weatherspoon and now Davis, fresh 24 for the Sixers. Iverson, good look inside. Coleman, DC gets 2. You know, Allen gave a thought about the 3 and did the much better thing, setting up Coleman. A nice play by Allen Iverson doing the point guard thing here, and the Sixers trail by 1. Allen, double-figure assists with 10 of them. This is De Gea. Sixers look to go in front. Weatherspoon, who has stood tall, surrounded, wrestles with Williamson. Corliss threw it away. Coleman reclaims it. 2.5 gone here in the fourth. Iverson found Spoon, deflected by Williamson. De Gea sizes up McKee behind the back, and he turned it over. Sixers a 3-on-1. Iverson, Coleman, blocked and fouled by Owens, and DC will head to the stripe.
Boy, Eddie Jordan's got to get De Gea out of the ball game right now, and with that turnover by De Gea, he's heading to the bench. Mitch was hoping to be able to sit there for another minute or so. Mitch Richmond off the bench, and the 76ers take it down the other end. Derek Coleman fouled in the act. Derek 14 of 18 last night. Been there 10 times tonight, make it 11 and 12 times, but it's dropped just 5 of 10 tonight. So coming down the stretch here with 9:08 to go, you've got to make your free throws.
And here come the starters. Thomas and Jackson in for Davis and McKee respectively. The two doing a wonderful job holding the fort. And number 2 is back, Mitch Richmond, who will get a lot of touches here in the final 9:08. Beat the Sixers last year at the end of the game. A 1-point win for the Kings. Coleman put the Sixers up 1. DC, one of 5 Sixers into double figures. He's got 11. Richmond against Jackson. The screen by Polynice. Mitch, his own miss. He was fouled. It'll count. It'll count.
Shot comes up short. The guy that knows where the shot is going, whether it's left, right, short, or long, is the shooter. Mitch realized his shot's going to come up a little short. Take a look at him. As soon as he comes down, boom, he's on the floor trying to get that missed shot. Picks it up and is fouled by Derek Coleman. And as you said, Mark, coming down the stretch, you know whose hand the ball is going to be in. All Bobby Hurley has to do is get it over half court and get rid of it.
Richmond with 24. Iverson by Hurley. His own miss among the timber. Hurley gathers it up for the Kings. 3-on-2. Richmond, that's for 3. Good job by Williamson to get it to Owens. And the Kings holding 2 with a fresh 24. Owens, that's for 3. And the 76ers call timeout.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Now, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Introducing the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now. Just call 1-800-482-9500.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. By now, you'll benefit from this low introductory rate.
Call 1-800-482-9500. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
Time remaining in this one, and it bears repeating. The Sixers playing last night about 90 miles down the road in Oakland, and short turnaround. Last night's game starting at 7:30 tonight. The starting time locally 6 o'clock.
As you take a look at Mitch Richmond getting his own missed shot, taking it back up, making the shot there, completing the three-point play, and then all of a sudden the ball swings around. You've got to guard Billy Owens. Billy Owens shooting about 40% from downtown as well, but he doesn't take many. He was 8 for 20 coming into tonight's ball game.
Owens and the Kings have regained their shooting form here in the fourth.
3 of 6 for the Kings. 76ers just 1 of 6. In the fourth quarter, the last couple of weeks has been a rough quarter for the 76ers. Both Detroit games, they struggled big time.
Here are the Sixers out of the timeout. Coleman can't get Polonese to bite.
You know why Derek is struggling? I mean, you take a look at the defenders of the Sacramento Kings. They're really not biting on the pump fake.
DC 2 for 14 from the field tonight.
Consequently, when you take a look at the defenders and you see Owen Polonese going up, getting the layup there, but they're just staying on the right hand of Derek Coleman, not going for the pump fake.
Critical point here for the Sixers.
Absolutely.
Now the Kings up 7. Iverson, good look for Coleman, and a foul. Big play by Allen Iverson, his 11th assist, and Coleman will go to the line looking for the three-point play.
Boy, what a play by Allen Iverson, taking a look at white jerseys all around. Find my guy in a hurry, and he does an excellent job dropping his 11th dime of the night. You can see the foul there. Derek Coleman strong, taking it to the hoop. Makes the bucket. Has a chance to cut it to 4, but this has been a struggle all night for the Sixers. DC drops it there.
Big possession, big plays. Iverson with 11 assists, the most he's had in a game since November 22nd. And guess who is getting warm?
Yep.
Richmond, the deuce gives him 26.
It's not a surprise who's going to get the ball coming down the stretch.
Jackson, that's for 3. (87-81) Sacramento. Under 7 to play. Richmond again. Coleman, his 9th rebound. We have a timeout call. Coleman and Williamson glaring temporarily.
20-second timeout. Philadelphia.
Mitch Richmond's shot comes up just a little short. Derek Coleman comes down with it. Gets the timeout before Williamson can get his hands in there. Good play by Derek Coleman.
When it comes to basketball clinics, the 76ers are all fun. That's right. Be there when Allen Iverson and the newest Sixers take on the Sacramento Kings, this very same team. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 19th, 1 o'clock, KFC Family Day. The 76ers will be teaching in a special pregame youth basketball clinic, a unique opportunity for you young basketball players. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning at the Core State Center. For more info, the 76ers are available to answer your questions at 339-7676.
Mitch Richmond, 26. Corliss Williamson, 23. Combining tonight for 49 of the 87 points.
Here are the Sixers out of the timeout. Coleman working Owens. Owens is pulled down, and we have a loose ball foul coming up on DC. For Coleman, his fourth. 3 team fouls apiece here. Williamson for the Kings also with 4. He has played very big tonight with 23 in the career high, 16 rebounds. Ratliff helping Jackson with Richmond. Still 10 to shoot. Williamson contending with Thomas. Coleman the help. Good defense by the Sixers. Williamson the good fight, no finish. Coleman a double-double with his 10th board. And as we emerge here, wow, look at Coleman and Williamson. Wow, right in front of us. DC is just unloading on Williamson, and this is a mob scene here in Sacramento. Derek Coleman and Williamson glaring at each other earlier, and now it all breaks loose. You could see it brewing, and now it bubbles over. Well, they are gone for sure, and certainly for more games than just tonight. Coleman being escorted off as he hears it from the fans here in Sacramento. A wild melee between Coleman and Williamson.
Let's see if we can find him. There's Derek Coleman. Let's see what happens here. Looked like Williamson was trying to reach in and deflect the pass, and I don't know what happened after that, but Williamson charges Derek Coleman. Threw a forearm shiver at him. It glanced off Derek's head, but then a couple punches were landed, no question about. Boom, there's one by Derek. There's my partner bailing out of the way.
Hey, a couple of heavyweights right there.
Oh, you aren't kidding. That was a good decision on your part.
Unless I'm reffing it, I'm watching.
You don't want to ref that one either.
I don't need a good seat for that.
No.
So now, in an 87-81 game with 6:02 to play in the fourth, Eddie Jordan operating without his leading rebounder and second leading scorer. Just for the record, they call double fouls here. Williamson and Coleman.
Yeah, now both those players, as soon as Rod Thorne has time to take a look at that, can pretty much say for a couple games, or at least one game anyway, sayonara.
Theo Ratliff in for the Sixers. Iverson off his own miss. He took a hit. He is down. And the fans here getting a little WWF on us as Allen Iverson absorbed the blow from Olden Polynice.
Yeah, crowd thinks this is Starcade 97 here.
Larry Brown calling a timeout. That foul was one the Kings had to give. Their fourth, the Sixers with 3. I think we all need to take a blow here with 5:52 to go. It's an 87-81 game, Sacramento. More coming up after this.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Now, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Introducing the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now. Just call 1-800-482-9500.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And when you apply now, you'll benefit from this low introductory rate.
Call 1-800-482-9500. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
Kings leading by 6. Let's go back for a minute. Try to figure out what happened. Williamson with the basketball, and you can see Derek Coleman coming down, doing a good job defensively. Williams comes up with a missed shot. DC with the rebound, and there with the right arm trying to deflect the pass, but it certainly looked like a chop across Derek Coleman's shoulders, and then all of a sudden everything just broke loose from there. Derek Coleman, boom, winding up, boom, getting him a couple times.
Minutes, 52 seconds remaining.
That got the crowd into it.
Yep. Sixers 18% shooting here in the quarter. Iverson missing the 3. Stewart has been in foul trouble all night long, is back in. And he replaces the since departed Corliss Williamson. And an offensive foul is called on Billy Owens.
Well, see, they're going to call it tight now.
Yep.
They're not going to put up with anything now. I'm sure the officials got together and said, all right, now we've got to straighten this thing up. Take a look. Definitely moving. We've seen players do that quite a bit, but just to straighten this thing up a little bit, they're going to call that.
Hurley off the miss by Weatherspoon. We have 5:15 to go. It's the fourth quarter, and it is still 87-81 Kings. Colonies had Richmond posting. 6 to shoot. Owens cutting, knocked away and out of bounds by Tim Thomas. 4 to shoot now for Sacramento.
Keep an eye on Mitch Richmond. Watch him coming off the screen.
5 seconds to get it in. They unload to Hurley. 3 to shoot. Bobby Hurley has it blocked by Iverson. Polonese got it up, didn't beat the shot clock, and the Kings are forced into the turnover.
Eddie Jordan looking up saying, Bobby, come on. Got to give a better shot effort than that.
Sixers still down a half dozen.
And Sacramento extremely short in what is any type of depth at all.
Nobody can buy a basket right now.
For Sacramento, that's good. They maintain the 6-point lead with 4.5 to go. For the 76ers, you're looking for a bucket.
Owens taking charge against Thomas. Timmy with a piece of the rock. Iverson run into by Owens. And the Kings are in the penalty here, so Allen Iverson will march to the line.
Another silly foul on Billy Owens' part.
That is his 5th.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know how many fouls you have. You have to know how many people are back, and there wasn't anybody back. You just kind of guide Allen Iverson. stay about 8 feet away from him, guide him down the sidelines, and say, okay, if you want the outside shot, you haven't made many all night, but if you want it, go ahead and take it. I'm not going to foul you and send you to the free throw line. 76ers have made a living the last couple nights from the free throw line.
A big 2 for Allen Iverson. That makes it a 4-point game. 4:12 remaining here in the fourth. Anthony Johnson back in to run the point for Bobby Hurley, contending with some stiff defense from Allen Iverson, who's looking for an offensive foul. Eight to shoot. Richmond, Sixers airtight defense here and there. A foul is called on the floor. Keep in mind the Sixers, it's on Jim Jackson,
are in the penalty now.
Well, it was the one they had to give here, and a technical foul is called on Eddie Jordan.
Wow.
The Kings coach, who is nearly out to midcourt.
Eddie. You just got a foul called on Mitch Richmond. You're going to send him to the line to shoot 2, and you're going to start arguing calls. I know you want to stick up for your team, but Eddie, sit down. You're still winning.
Jimmy Jackson to shoot the tee. His first trip to the line tonight.
That was the Sixers' 4th personal foul. I'm sorry.
Correct. It was the one they had to give. So the Kings get it back with a fresh 24 and 3:52 to play here in the fourth quarter. 87-83, the Sixers trail. Johnson and Richmond, the pick and roll thing. Owens dips in. Weatherspoon unleashes Jackson. 3-on-2 for the Sixers. Jimmy plays it to Iverson. Ball knocked away. The Sixers keep it. They will keep possession. 3:30 to play in the fourth. Rolling Ratliff from Iverson. Mid at the top by Stewart. The primo shot blocker, and the pass for Johnson off his fingertips and out of bounds. So the Sixers, losing only 3 seconds here in the transition, get the ball back.
Anthony Johnson pointing to himself saying, my fault, but take a look at the block right there by Stewart on Theo Ratliff.
Sixers have it down 4. 3:10 to play in the fourth. The foul on Johnson. And we'll be marching to the line here with both teams in the penalty.
Boy, not a great team when it comes to thinking the game.
For Johnson, his 3rd.
Sacramento, in the games that they have won in the last 10 games, and they've split those games, they're 5-5 in the last 10. In the games they've won, they've held the opponent to 88, scoring 97 themselves. And in the games they've lost, they've only scored 91, giving up 102. We have 3:10 to go here. And this is a 2-point game. And thanks to the free throw line and silly fouls on Sacramento's part, Sixers are back in it.
Iverson 11 for 14 from the stripe. Under 3 to play. Richmond. Iverson for the Sixers. Good spot of Jackson against Johnson. Oh, he was fouled. It would have counted. And Jim Jackson now will go to the line with a chance to tie it.
Sacramento's relying on outside shots where the 76ers are taking it to the bucket. Good job defensively by Jimmy Jackson. You can see that shot coming off long. Allen Iverson getting the ball up quickly to Jimmy Jackson, who gathers it in, takes it to the hoop. Shot just comes off.
Jackson, the Sixers' best free throw shooter. And the Larry Brown shuttle has commenced. Mark Davis in for Tim Thomas. Timmy sitting with 13. We have a timeout. It comes with 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go in a wild one tonight from Sacramento. The Sixers are poised to tie it up.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Now, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Introducing the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now. Just call 1-800-482-9500.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And when you apply now, you'll benefit from this low introductory rate.
Call 1-800-482-9500. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
Brought to you by Jeep Eagle. Halfway through this fourth quarter, Derek Coleman and Corliss Williamson went at it. Haymakers and all, right in front of us as they spilled over the press table. Both have been ejected from the game. The Sixer bench doing a nice job keeping them in it here, as the Sixer defense has forced 24 Sacramento turnovers on the night. In all, it is a 1-point game, and as we emerge here out of the timeout, Jim Jackson with an opportunity to tie it up from the foul line. The 24 turnovers, by the way, a season high for the Kings.
It's good to see Jimmy going to the line. Sixers' best free throw shooter at 83%. Jimmy the last few games or so, 87, 89% on 26 out of his last 29 heading into tonight's game.
87-87. Jackson with a dozen. 2:45 and counting. We're in the fourth.
Keep in mind that Sixers have struggled in close games, where the Sacramento Kings at least have Mitch Richmond. They have struggled as well, but
Richmond, that's for three. Man.
But when the game is on the line, Mitch Richmond steps up to the plate.
He's dropped 29 tonight. That interrupted a 6-0 Sixer run. Weatherspoon contends with a 7-footer. Olden Polynice sneaks in, can't finish it. And the Kings interested here in holding and executing. They lead by 3. Richmond into the lane, had it ripped away out of bounds. Polynice can't save it. It'll be Sixer ball with 1:42 to go in the fourth. They trail by 3. Tim Thomas will come back in for offensive purposes.
Take a look at Mitch Richmond diving down through the paint, tries to kick it over Olden Polynice a little high. I don't think Polynice was ready to catch the ball. You got to get your hands up in the air. But another turnover by Sacramento.
Thomas, Ratliff off the floor, a fresh 24 for the Sixers. Thomas for the tie. And there's Ratliff. Good hustle by the Sixers.
Boy, Eddie Jordan is extremely upset with the officiating underneath right now, feeling that the 76ers are over the back of his team. Crowd getting on the officials. We'll take another look at it. Shot goes up by Tim Thomas.
In the meantime, we do have a foul on Johnson.
Actually, you know what?
Go ahead.
When you take a look at that replay, Stewart found himself underneath the basket. Long shots, remember, produce long rebounds. You can't find yourself a foot underneath the basket and expect to get the rebound. Clarence Weatherspoon did a great job that time of pushing Stewart underneath the basket, therefore giving him the opportunity to get the offensive board.
Allen Iverson tonight 13 for 16 from the line, and the Sixers now trail by 1 with 1:15 to play.
It's the Mitch Richmond show right now.
Book it.
Yeah.
Richmond against Jackson.
10 seconds.
There he goes. Weatherspoon the help. They find Johnson, 5 to shoot. It's the rookie Johnson, in and out. And underneath we have a foul. It's on the Sixers. And it is on Theo Ratliff. 4 on him, and of course we've been in the penalty for some time on the part of both teams. And here now the rookie, the Sacramento-born Michael Stewart, at one time a ball boy for the Kings, all of 40% from the line, going there for 2.
This is where Eddie Jordan gets the beads out, huh?
Now it's rosary bead time.
Yeah.
Terry Cummings comes into the game.
It's hard for me to fathom why guys are so bad at the free throw line. Really is.
And he's in for Allen Iverson.
Defensive purposes. Rebounding purposes right there, realizing that the shot is going to be missed.
And a timeout by Larry Brown. So the stay on the bench temporary. Larry Brown had it all figured out. With under a minute to play, his team is down 1.
To accomplish everything you need to do on the ground, often you have to spend time in the sky. Now, what you do both places can help you get where you really want to go. Introducing the Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express, giving you American Express service on the ground and Delta Airlines service in the sky.
You can apply now. Just call 1-800-482-9500.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, you receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And when you apply now, you'll benefit from this low introductory rate.
Call 1-800-482-9500. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
The day off tomorrow, practicing in Portland. It's the Trailblazers Tuesday, Vancouver Thursday, Seattle Friday, the Lakers Sunday. That Laker game on 57. Tonight's game here on Comcast Sportsnet. It's been quite a contest. The Kings leading by 1. The 76ers with possession and 56.8 to go on the fourth quarter clock. A check of the timeouts revealing that the 76ers have 1 remaining and the Kings have 3 in their back pocket. In case you are just joining us, halfway through the fourth quarter with 6:02 to go, Corliss Williamson and Derek Coleman ejected after a brawl, the seeds of which were planted earlier in the quarter when the two were glaring at each other. And then a full-scale fight which broke out after Derek Coleman came down with a rebound, outletted the pass, Williamson reaching in, and then Williamson hitting him from behind. Now the Sixers down 1 out of the timeout. Iverson, of course, is back in, and there the Sixers have to burn their final timeout as they couldn't get the ball in. So now Larry Brown has to operate in the last minute with a full understanding that he cannot stop the clock.
Well, you had an opportunity to get it in unless Larry told the troops, listen, we do have a timeout to give, or we do have a timeout to take. If we cannot get the basketball in, then all of a sudden call the timeout. But Mitch Richmond, about 10-15 feet away from Jimmy Jackson, had his back completely turned. If you really want to get the basketball in, just throw it off of his rear end and go get the basketball. Gambling play at that time, and may not be one you want to take with 57 seconds to go and you're down by 1. But it's an option.
It's like a carbon copy of last year.
Exactly.
This game.
With Mitch hitting the big time shot coming down the stretch to win it.
So the Sixers showing a lot of gumption here, winning last night, breaking the losing streak, traveling last night, shooting around this morning, and in the short turnaround situation, looking to go 6-2 against the Western Conference and in search of their first back-to-back victories since mid-November. And in that situation, it came on the road as well at Houston and at Dallas. Jackson once again to inbound to either Ratliff, Iverson, Thomas, or Weatherspoon. Allen breaks free, and here we go with the Sixers down 1. Thomas and Jackson running off the ball baseline. Jackson has Owens on a switch. Iverson. Allen Iverson. The miss. Richmond, a big rebound. Sixers, of course, don't have to foul. 38 seconds to go. 36 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to get the last shot. Larry knew that. He had a good 2-for-1 opportunity.
Johnson and Richmond off the pick and roll. Here's Johnson, the big shot, and he hit it.
See, now you don't have a timeout, but Larry set that up in the last huddle.
And I think he said go for 2 here. You don't have to go for 3. Jackson plunges in. That would have counted. Jim Jackson will go to the line in search of 2. 13.1 to go on the fourth quarter clock.
Now it's up to the 76ers to make the free throws. And if you're Sacramento, you've got to get the ball in Mitch Richmond's hands.
With that foul, Stewart has fouled out of the game.
You've got 13.1 to go. You've got plenty of time. Larry Brown going to the substitutions, the defensive substitutions now. McKee and Davis in. Spoon, Tim Thomas out. And if you're Aaron McKee, you've got to deny Mitch Richmond the basketball at all costs. 9th in the league in free throw shooting.
Jackson, the miss to the floor. It goes, and Ratliff has it in a 2-point game.
Wow.
No foul called as bodies fly.
How about that?
Iverson working over Johnson. 2 seconds. 1. Here's McKee for the tie. No, and that will do it. The game is over.
Heartbreak for the Sixers here in Sacramento tonight.
Final score, 92, Sixers 90. Sacramento taking the second start of the winning Sacramento area Carl's Jr. Restaurant. Receive a free.
Final score tonight from Arco Arena in Sacramento. It's the Kings 92 and the 76ers 90, as Aaron McKee, who was originally put in for defense, suddenly the Sixers came up with it after the missed foul, and Aaron got it up. And there is Mark Hendrickson, former 76er, cradling the game's final rebound. Once again, the Kings over the Sixers tonight. We'll be back with more right after this. And now the Core State starters for tonight. First for the 76ers, it'll be Jim Jackson and Allen Iverson in the backcourt. Theo Ratliff continues to start in the middle, along with Tim Thomas and Terry Cummings, his second straight start for the suspended Derek Coleman. For Vancouver, it'll be Blue Edwards, his first start of the season. He is in there for the injured Sam Mack. Mack straining some ligaments in his right shooting hand and unable to go tonight. Joining him in the backcourt, the rookie out of Bowling Green, Antonio Daniels. Bryant Big Country Reeves in the middle with Sharif Abdurrahim and Otis Thorpe, the longtime veteran up front. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. For the 76ers, Scott Williams, who has rejoined the 76ers on this trip, and his